Hello, 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 everyone. This is going to be a story time and also just a crystal reveal as I've been working on essentially, let's turn the camera around. Essentially, I've been working on inventory the past couple days while I've been working my 9 to 5 day job during the week. And so teaching yoga, and so today's Saturday night, and Saturday night for me, usually when I'm on my own, I'm actually doing some sort of introspective work. And today I figured I would just do a little bit of story time. And the topic I would say would be that we're all transmitters. This is kind of a follow-up to yesterday. And of course, at any given moment, any given moment throughout the day, you're always transmitting. You are always, just like we were showing here, the crystals. This is a amethyst crystal. We're always transmitting. We're always releasing some sort of frequency, right? And something that I actually heard with a group I'm recently in right now is like every 10 minutes, almost as if you were to work, at a sit-down job, try to get up every hour. So every 10 minutes, can you check in with yourself and see what thought, what vibration, what emotion are you holding? What desire are you transmitting? Because that's what you're going to receive back, right? And I just thought, I was like, hey, yeah, that's so true and facts. So today my husband and I end up going to a crystal gem fair that was here local, and we went to one a couple years ago, and it was just for fun. We would just attend expos, and back I think before we were married, we were just dating. And this one, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna go because I'm starting this new venture here with the crystals. And actually, in fact, as soon as we walk in, and even before we walk in, actually, I'm praying. I'm just like, please show me like what type of store, what do you want me to do in terms of the crystals that want to come through and work and be adopted by the people, right, who come through. And it was synchronistically beautiful. And the first booth that we go up to, ran by a lovely couple, and I just had to share this. So they have a crystal, and I still have it, so this is why it's like a crystal reveal. I just wanted to share the crystals that I brought home to be up in our shop, right? Our shop is this one. Not sure if you'll be able to read it. I'll even turn it around, actually. Let's see if I can do that. Just give me a moment. Going back to our little setup that we had here. When we look at here, the first crystal is the amethyst crystal. It's an amethyst crystal raw form. And this is how they had it in a little cute box. And it says Amethyst Guerrero, Mexico. And I was like, Guerrero. Of course. And it's actually spelled correctly because that's actually my last name. And I thought that was hilarious. And so I wanted to show her here, and actually have some dragon's blood incense over here. If you saw my TikTok/IG post story, I did a little mini short about crystal and cleansing. And so I have a lot of crystals I'm receiving. So as I receive them, I'm cleansing them so that they're ready to go out to their owner, right? And so this amethyst crystal, I was just like, okay, if that isn't a sign, I didn't know an amethyst guerrero crystal, existed. And so I had to get her for me because that was my confirmation. I'm on the right path. And also, if you saw my stories this morning, in my stories, you'll see there too. And I think I might keep her little name tag there as a reminder for me. In my stories, I did a little short that I kind of recorded from a sermon from Elevation Church through Pastor Stephen Furtick, and it so resonated with me today because it was about sometimes you're afraid on your spiritual journey, or especially if you're someone who's had some trauma experience, right? And you're anxious, and this idea of perfectionism about, being afraid to make a move. And I used to have so much fear, and I would always pray where I wouldn't make a decision in my life because I was afraid that it would be the wrong choice. But I think that's, in time doing some work, and a lot of the crystal allies that definitely noticed have been working with me in the plant medicine, and all my spiritual guides most recently in the past couple of years and months especially, that has been subsiding. I'm having more fun with life, and especially with grounding myself with Mother Earth and the environment around me. I just find that it's okay, my other prayer, I feel I'm safe in this world. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm just adjusting that light there. And so, that was that prayer too that I spoke out to myself when we went into this expo today. And then we go and we meet a guy. I just I really saw in his eyes, is really friendly. And then he noticed this necklace here. I have a turquoise and hematite necklace that my mother-in-law gifted me because I saw it. I was like, ooh, can I have it? And it reminds me of my priestess vibes and energy that I'm transmitting constantly, right? And checking in with myself. And he was like, hey, and because he also noticed that I wear a lot of crystals and jewelry. I adore in myself, right? And he was like, do you make jewelry? And I'm like, no, I don't, but it is a window that I feel is there in the realm of infinite possibilities. I just never took the step in that direction to really look into it. And he gifted me some beads to start making some jewelry. And the moment that he did, logical mind, it's oh, hey, well, you don't know how to do it. Even he said it, go on YouTube and just do it, the resources are there. Once you start hitting the search button and you really commit, it'll come up, which is facts. You just got to go from inaction to action. And when I just started getting excited and I started seeing images of things that could be birthed through me, exactly like I prayed yesterday in the live that I want to create something that I've made, And so I kept getting complimented on this necklace that I have, my High Priestess necklace. And here's stall number 3 or booth number 3. We go and meet a guy, and he had a beautiful collection. He said he used to do jewelry making back in the day when he was younger, but he started collecting more, and then he kind of just transitioned in the form of how he was working with the crystals. He didn't put it like that, but I did. And so then this is the second reveal that I'll have up in the shop. For now, you can definitely just contact me if you find something that you feel resonates with you. If you have any questions with the crystal, how it might work with you or what the properties are, not a problem. But I always say follow your intuition, especially like just seeing out of curiosity, what is it that's pulling to you, right? And so what we have here are 2 geodes, and I'll flip the camera so you can see it. Let's see if we can show it a little bit more. So this is a crystal quartz geode from Brazil. You can see the clusters inside, the lights emanating around it, and I'll definitely show it around you. I'm just going to do the first 2 that come through that I got. And then so here's another geode. And this one's white in color, and you can also see that beautiful, like, actually, yeah, these are just formations that once they cut them, you can actually see what forms. And I'll turn the camera around again so we can see it better lighting. I have a little setup in my living room right now because I like to keep my rooms different purposes, right? So let's see if we can do this. We can bring that light down here. There we go. And actually, let me turn that light a little bit brighter. There we go. That might help. There you go. Ooh. So, you know how it goes with these cameras here. Trying to get a really good. Or at least maybe I won't move it so much. This is a crystal quartz geode from Brazil, and the other one is a white crystal quartz. There we go. I might have to keep her further away just because. There we go. At any rate. So that was the stall number 3. But I also got other really good goodies. We'll probably do it from this angle here. Now, why do I work? Well, I'd probably ask you guys like the question, how do you guys work with crystals? Or if you're someone who's new to them, one of the ways that I work with them, I first began with just like meditation, because like when you first meditate, you're working on focusing your mind on something. And it could be, either a thought, a sound, it could be anything. It's just anywhere you're throwing and investing your attention, your energy in. It would be the stare of flame. I remember that being one of the meditation practices that was recommended, but it never stuck, stood with me that much. But, I find that holding something, especially like when you're nervous, right? Like, and you're fidgeting, and you can just allow yourself to kind of like feel the crystals and just allow yourself to stare at the formations that are inside. And just, it's wonderful to know that these crystals are, come straight from the earth. And so I used them for like meditation, and then I learned little by little their properties. I just get the name of a crystal, I would search it up on Google, and I still do, because they have so many different properties, so many different names. And even now, I'm learning more beyond the scope of crystals that I've used to work with just for my own personal walk of life. And so it's just really interesting to see that. And so you get to see how each one will work with you in terms of, because every crystal, everything in life has its own vibrational energy, has its own vibration. And so that reflects back to the energy in nature, in crystals and plants. And so just like each herb that, or each plant that you eat, each fruit that you eat, the herbs that you use and spices all have their own properties. My background is, in chemistry, so there's a molecular component, but also just at a different level, quantum wise, right? They're vibrating, just like sound. And they have an impact on your cells, on your physical body, your mental body, emotional body, your auric body, right? And really, they're just forms and extensions of you, and they help just remind you. So going back to what I said, like every hour get up from the chair, right? That's like ideal. Every 10 minutes, check in with yourself. What are you transmitting in terms of your thoughts and your vibration? And going back to the story, he was sharing his wisdom, and here we have some crystal quartz and beautiful crystal quartz. And I love the raw. I was learning, through each stall, the crystals, they naturally come in raw form from the earth's crust when you go digging and you excavate. And depending on how you cut them, how you dig them out, they have a different shape, form. And then in time, they end up, hey, we're talking about crystals here. In time, there's different processes to form them and shape them. So that's where you get like those towers here. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the other stall that we went down to was actually a stall. It's called the Stone Cutters Guild up over here in where we live in Maryland. And they're a good group of people who work on like finding like raw forms of stone, right? And then they have the tools to help shape them and form them into whatever shape you want to form. And it's synchronistically, again, I went to that group like a year ago or 2 years ago when I first moved, in search of community. And then I saw them again. And they're just so welcoming. And I felt like, you know what? I'm going to go and do it. I'm just going to go and explore and see as a passion, hobby, interest, what comes through. And so, just tying it all together is just interesting. When we bring back that sermon, hey, we're just talking about crystals and like synchronicities, how they're coming up in our lives. And yes, when the way they put it, you could always see it in your own different perspective, but in the sermon that I put in my stories today is essentially when you end up walking and living your life in integrity, right? Integrity, alignment, whatever words you want to use, and the vibration that you're holding, the vibration and the intention is that I'm living my life with this desire, right? You'll start seeing the signs in your life, in your walk of life. And the story alone kind of just shares my walk of life of how I went through today. And how just like little by little, step by step, it was like things that have like been put there in terms of windows is what I call them of a house. Like you've opened the window, you opened up the shades, but you didn't like fully leave, walk through, put your hand out there, you didn't take that final step to kind of explore and see if this is something that you have a passion to go towards, plan, no plan, just seeing because you're an evolving being. And yeah. And so all in all, I'm sitting here and I'm watching a K-drama. And I think the K-drama is on Netflix. It's called like My Eternal Youth or something like that. And in it, she reads the character, one of the female leads, reads the story, and then she says, you know, when you're so focused, engrossed into that, that brings you so much passion, it's no longer called work. So I could be here in the East Coast and it's like close to midnight, and when you begin to embark on an adventure, especially when you're opening up a shop, there's a lot of processes involved. You're either unboxing a lot of things, unwrapping a lot of things, and then you have to begin to, you know, put their names on, put their labels on, put etc. There's so many small details, and I used to get so annoyed by the nuances of things before. I would be like, I'm the type of person I go from A to Z without thinking about the in-between. And when I'm in the between, I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be all this. But it doesn't feel like that while I'm doing it. You know, whether it's because of the energy of the crystals or just, you know, I generally love them. I don't feel that. And so the final crystal reveal that I want to share with you guys is one that's going to definitely be on the shop. And this one was actually donated here in our shop. This is a clear quartz crystal. This one is just so beautiful. You can see, and I'll definitely turn it around so we can have better lighting. I just wanted to see if you want a beautiful statement piece in your altar or in your home space, in your room. You definitely feel free to adopt her. Maybe she's for you. I'm gonna bring that lighting down. Maybe it'll bring it up here. There we go. And again, give me some grace because I'm still learning the whole, like, you know, what's the best angle that I want to share this with. And I'm doing this here because I've done IG lives for a while, just in different formats. So this is a different format. Let's see how we see her. Yeah, so I just figured it'd be a good way just to share a little bit more about my life, share a little bit about synchronicities, how you know, just open the floor in conversation with it, and just bring in the healing power and medicine of crystals. Let's get the angle switched around for us here. Alright, let's see. So this is the quartz crystal. Again, it was donated to our shop. And if you see it here from, like, I guess some size perspective, this is my carpet. And let's take a look here. Ooh, yeah, that's definitely a better angle. Oh my gosh. You can see the striations here. She has at least like 4 or 5 main crystals here. And let me turn her around. Yeah. Oh, I guess it works there, the shadow. Yeah. Well, that's actually all I had really for today. It was just to share a little bit of my day, my vlog story here. For now, I'm just gonna have some, you know, from time to time, information, the crystals coming through, pictures of my stories, because really my page is Divine Cosmic Journey, and it's about all the magical tools, spiritual practices that I use, that I love, that keep me grounded, that keep me in my vibration in terms of transmitting what it is I want to put out. And one of the videos I saw today before I leave, the speaker was talking about, like, transmitting, and he's like, you can go ahead and transmit the vibration of you being a priestess if you wanted to all day long, you know, but check in with yourself. what is it that you use as a reminder to anchor in that energy, in that vibration, whatever it is that you're anchoring through and then transmitting out also physically. And so thank you so much for joining me here tonight. And I pray you guys have a good weekend and stay fresh. Sat Nam.